Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence.
Here are today's top headlines. Volkswagen comes out with a 3-cylinder diesel, Toyota forms a new quality division, and Chinese automaker Brilliance has to stop exporting cars to Europe. Up next, we'll be back with the news behind the headlines. This is Autoline Daily for Friday, April 30th, 2010, and now the news. China might take over the auto industry someday, but not just yet. Gasgoo reports that Chinese car company Brilliance Automotive will stop exporting all vehicles to Europe. Those cars received poor crash ratings, and Brilliance is having a hard time meeting European emission standards. In a related development, Bloomberg reports that a couple of other Chinese automakers are recruiting Japanese automotive engineers to help them figure out how to meet safety and emission standards in Europe. And I would hasten to point out that the reason we have not seen any Chinese cars end up in the United States as of yet is that American emission and safety standards are even stricter than the ones that they have in Europe. Yesterday, we reported that GM would dump the DAEWOO brand name in South Korea and replace it with Chevrolet. That prompted GM to contact us and say, hey, wait a minute, not so fast. The press release clearly states that we're keeping the DAEWOO name. So I dug a little deeper, and here's what my sources tell me. GM was going to dump the DAEWOO brand all at once, but it ran into a backlash from its union and a government agency in South Korea. So now it's going to phase the brand name out. Every time a DAEWOO model gets phased out, the new one will be badged as a Chevrolet. In an interesting step to improve its tarnished reputation, the AP reports that Toyota is setting up a new quality control division dedicated to feeding customer concerns into the design process. In related news, an outside panel of industry experts has been assembled to conduct a broad review of the company's operations. The independent 7-member group is led by former U.S. Secretary of Transportation Rodney Slater. It also includes Brian O'Neill, formerly of the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. They will advise Toyota's North American affiliates on quality and safety issues. In what seems to be the latest automotive fad, Volkswagen presented a new 3-cylinder engine at the Vienna Motor Symposium in Austria. The 1.2-liter TDI diesel delivers 75 PS, that's about 74 horsepower, and 180 newton-meters of torque, which is roughly 133 pound-feet. Look for the new engine under the hood of the company's super-efficient Polo Blue Motion. VW hasn't released any fuel economy figures yet, but don't be surprised if this thing can circle the Earth 4 times on a single tank. The price of steel is about to head up again. According to the Wall Street Journal, rising raw material costs, such as coal and iron ore, are to blame. The average global price for steel this month rose 12%, and ArcelorMittal, the world's largest steel producer, says it's now paying 80% more for raw materials than a year ago, and they'll pass that extra cost on to their customers, which obviously include just about every car company in the world. Earlier this week, we reported that Congress is proposing new safety rules for automakers. To pay for all that, the Detroit News reports that there's a new proposal in Congress to tack a fee on every new car. The bill would double NHTSA's budget by $100 million next year and boost it by $280 million by 2013. The fee would start at $3 for the first year, work its way up to $9 by the third year, and after that, it would increase with the rate of inflation. Hey, what are the best car movies that you can see? Well, we'll be talking about that right after this.
Introducing Bridgestone's 3rd generation of run-flat tires with groundbreaking new Bridgestone technologies. Bridgestone run-flat tires offer improved ride comfort, lower rolling resistance, and improved wear while giving you the peace of mind and comfort you need.
Cars and movies just seem to go together. Some of the greatest lines ever spoken on the silver screen relate to the automobile. On this week's Autoline Detroit, we are into part 2 at looking at some of the greatest car movies of all time.
do my best thinking on the bus. That's how come I don't drive, see?
You don't even know how to drive.
I don't want to know how. I don't want to learn, see? The more you drive, the less intelligent you are.
Great line. You can catch that entire episode of Autoline Detroit right now at our website, AutolineDetroit.tv. And joining me for that discussion are Jim Hall from 2953 Analytics, Todd Lassa from Motor Trend Magazine, and the auto extremist, Peter DeLorenzo. A couple of weeks ago, we asked you to let us know what you think about Autoline Daily and how we can make it better. We got a great response. Overall, you told us you love the show, but you also gave us some really good ideas. Some of them we can act on right away, some are going to take a little bit longer, but you'll start to see some of those changes starting Monday as we continue to strive to make Autoline Daily your best source of automotive information. Thank you for your help and your input. And okay, it's Friday, which means it's time for our trivia quiz. We asked you this question. Motorola was the first company to put radios in cars in the 1920s, but where did the company get its name? And the answer is, it's a combination of the words motor and Victrola, a type of phonograph that was popular back in its day. Motor and Victrola became Motorola. And the winner is Dave Marsh of Orange County, California. Congratulations, Dave. You just won an Autoline Detroit baseball hat. And that is it for today's top news in the global automotive industry. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.